Lancaster Woodturners Weekly Coffee Hour number 272 for September 25th. How's my audio? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. We had the Mid Atlantic Symposium last weekend, and we're going to do a bit of a debrief on that. How many of you all on screen attended that? Can I see a show of hands here on about that? Okay, and a significant number of you didn't attend, and so you're going to get a treat from the videos and the conversation we're going to have, I think. Before I get to that, there's club news and announcements. My name's John Kelsey. I'll be your moderator as usual. I'll put my email address on the YouTube video so people can get in touch with me and get on the list. This weekly event is a freebie Zoom call sponsored by Lancaster Area Woodturners. This Saturday, the Japanese woodturner who's been visiting at Mid Atlantic will be demonstrating at our club space for about 4 hours, I think, starting at 10 a.m., I believe. And that's a special free event for club members. Next Tuesday, the 7th of October, I'm going to demonstrate some useful hacks I've learned along the way with magnet boxes. The following Saturday is the 13th, no, the 11th, that will be open shop, second Saturday in October. So lots of stuff coming up for Lancaster Club in the next couple of weeks. Any other club stuff that we want to go away with? And I'm going to start showing stuff from the Mid-Atlantic.
The Edmonton Woodturners are having a workshop. Diane actually coordinated it. Bunch of us going to get together and set up a couple grinders and do some sharpening, just for a lot of the new woodturners to learn how to sharpen their tools. That's happening on 30th of September in Edmonton.
All right. All right, I'm going to go to the videotape. I'm going to show you, first of all, the instant gallery. And this is a glasses video I made wearing my Ray-Bans. And then I cropped out a rectangular frame out of the vertical frame and tried to pause in front of each piece of work or each person's work. I don't think I got everybody, but it's most of it. And then after that, Ziegler will have some pictures of the demonstrators, and we can discuss the demonstrations, which were absolutely excellent, at least the ones I saw. So I'm going to go first to the share here of. There's no sound on this. It's a quiet video, so I'm going to talk and you can break in on me. This is the opening salvo here. These are the two guys who did the critique on of the instant gallery. One of them, it's Michael Keys and Dan Zobel. And they did a really good critique, held up the work, took a good look at it, and talked about it. Can you guys see this? Is this sharing okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to play the video now and just kind of let it run.
John, maybe you mentioned it, but I think Doug won top award in that instant gallery.
He did, and I don't have a great picture of him in this video of his stuff, but there is one on my drive, and I'll find it, or Ziegler will.
Yeah, I have a photograph of it.
I'm sure Doug is going to give us a demo and discussion of that soon, too.
I don't think he's here.
Well, it doesn't have to be today.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not remembering the names of people, but you guys, I'm sorry, but it's just what it is. This is as if you just wandered in there and walked around, old man lurching with a cane, and paused in front of the work and just took a little 3-second look. Ziegler also has a better picture of this little cabinet, which was a terrific thing.
That got the best bowls, I think, or hollows award.
This hollow turning was really lovely. Pith right through the middle of it. These horns were very, very colorful and interesting. And then there's this thing. We're heading over into beginner work over here, and the light was so bad I couldn't get good pictures of the beginner work.
Sphericon, right?
Yeah,
Wow, beautiful. I mean, interesting.
yeah, interesting. Yeah. That's Matt Kilareski's big platter. And this is my Köthe, very beautiful piece. This is Carol Hall. Very graphic pieces, painted, lovely work. This is eggshells in some material in the rim. These were very thin and light. You pick them up, it was a delight to pick them up, and also a highly refined, polished finish. And I think the fellow said he was a fairly new turner. Well, he's extraordinarily well done. Bewildering variety of work, really. Fantastic work. I'm amazed. This one day instant gallery. Up Friday night, all day Saturday, comes apart Sunday morning. There's where multi-axis work gets you, Bowman.
Yeah, I see that. Not enough time in life to do everything.
I think this soccer ball is hollow, but I'm not sure. I didn't really get a chance to fiddle it with it.
Are you stopping the video in your edit system?
Yes, that's what I am doing. I'm both cropping
That's
the
working.
frame and
That's working.
freezing
Yeah.
the frame.
It's working nice. Well, I like that.
This is Angelo's magic tricks, amazing stuff. A lot of epoxy in that one and in this whole group. And I come back to that one because I didn't get a good look of it at that time. These are Toby in the foreground. I think that's Gary Mayhew in the background.
Is that Toby's?
Yeah, the green one and the yellow one and the blue one that I just picked up.
Okay. Beautiful.
You'll get a more stable view of these pieces in a second. There, it'll freeze on it or near it. This one is clear. Never mind.
I don't see any magnet boxes.
Well, they'll be along. This is Doug's coming up on the right now, there. I don't have a good picture, but we'll see another good picture in a minute. And then here's some magnet boxes, and since you guys have seen a lot of them, it doesn't hover here very long either. This was a very well done funnel. These big tall urns are Bruce Lamb's. I actually dared to touch it. It looks so precariously balanced. I think these were flocked inside, I'm not sure. I didn't really feel it would be okay to open these up, although I wanted to. Really lovely work. This is a rim of seashells. Now I wonder how the wood and the epoxy are going to move together, but I guess we'll find out, or the player will find out. The rim on that platter with the his spirals is really turned nicely, beautifully carved.
Nice.
I mean, there was a bewildering quantity of really excellent work. It was just a fantastic instant gallery. I would say 75 people had pieces on display. Would that sound right to you, Ziegler?
Yeah, I think so. And the 4 years I've been going to the symposium, I think this had the greatest variety and the greatest quality of all 4 years.
Really beautiful things, beautifully done things. I wish I had better pictures of a lot of these things from a lower angle, but I can't, you know, I'm taking them through my glasses and as I lurch along. So you get the rhythm of my lurching as this little video moves. This was a terrific thing, a fellow had made, a brass and mahogany looks like mostly. Really, really lovely machine. You know, I think the same fellow made the soccer ball. That's that slideshow. Questions and comments on that before we move on?
Very, very impressive.
Thank you, John, for
And
showing that for us who couldn't make it.
That's what I'm hoping to do, and tease you doing making it next year.
Humbling.
Yeah, I was just gonna say intimidating, Jim. I don't think I'm gonna take any next year.
No. I take a close look at a lot of the work too, and I'm not trying to make video, you know. And it's every one of you that I know whose work I've seen in person is easily on a par with anything that was in the show, and that includes beginners. There's a beginners table. And it's fun to go in, and it's fun to participate in the critique and see what people want to say about your work.
There wasn't much spindle work there, was there?
No. Well, my boxes are all spindle work, you know, so there's some that's in disguise, you know, vases.
You know the definition instead of touching, John, I think caressing is the right word for some of those shapes. You just want to caress them.
Yeah.
You don't even want to hold them, you just want to caress them.
And some gorgeous finishes, you know, and I got my hands in them as much as I dared, you know, but you're not supposed to really, but I figured I had a little bit of grace that they'd let me do it, and they did. Anybody else? Okay, gonna hand it over to Ziegler now.
Are you going to post that video, John, or not?
It'll post with the video of this coffee hour, and I am going to slice it out. Yeah.
So can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the rotation schedule.
Okay, so this is just obviously the lineup for Saturday, Friday, well, Saturday and Sunday, really. So John's going through it. Echo, Echo San, Greg Gallegos, Hans and Jakob Weisflog. Helen Bailey was a trip. She was very funny and a great presenter. Barry Gross, and then Carol. These folks down here were kind of like in the big room. So let's see if the next one works. I'm just going to go through this. I'm not going to play it, but this is Jim Williams's hat. Remarkable detail, especially on that brown one. It must have taken forever to do his piercings.
I think he showed how to make the forms as well as how he does the piercing, right? He turned like thin turning.
Yeah, I did not go to his sessions, but the work itself is remarkable. And I did clean up after his work the next morning, some of the shavings and what have you. And he has gigantic blanks that he creates these pieces from. Then this was Helen Bailey's work. She's from northern England, just shy of Scotland.
She was hold it there for a second. Those little square plates and the bowl, most of her demo very little of it was, of the two that I sat through, was actually doing the decorative detail, although I know she did that in other demos. The two I sat through was actually making the square plate and the bowl that was then pierced, and they're about a 1/16 to an 1/8, somewhere in between. They're 2 millimeters thick and very uniform, and she was a very good teacher and very precise about how she did it. And I learned a lot in those demos, and plus she was really entertaining.
Yeah, and she had a very thick accent, and she was very self-effacing but very entertaining. And as John said, when she was doing her square plate, she wanted to make it about 4 millimeters thick, and I think I think she goes, well, I turned a little bit too far. Let's see what happens. And I think it ended up being about 1.5 millimeters thick, and it turned out to be perfectly smooth. It was one of these. It didn't have this design on it, but it was this size. And very thin and very precise turning. And she's only been turning for about 9 years, she said.
What a trip.
I think this is Steve Cook.
I thought it was Greg Gallegos, but I'm not sure.
Greg Gallegos is coming up. These are Steve Cook's, I think.
Okay.
Including the bracelets. This is Greg Gallegos.
These things were really beautiful, carved and painted.
And then the next table were the Weisflogs. So these are Jakob's work.
They're the German turners who make these boxwood and blackwood, little geometric things that often are multiply pierced rings that make shadows through, and boxes that you can't see. How the heck did he make those? And they showed how to do some of those. I sat through 1.5 of their demos. It was really interesting.
Yeah,
I've said it before, I always learn things from them.
And this was Hans, and on the Sunday they had a contest between father and son to turn a perfect sphere, and they said that Hans's eyesight is 3% in one eye and 60% in the other, and yet he turned these incredibly precise pieces.
They turn a sphere using a jam chuck and cleverly rotating the work. It's a great method. We'll probably cough up a video of it, or somebody will.
Yeah. And then finishes here with Echo Tanaka's incredible work. She not only turns this, she creates her own tools, she turns it, and then she does Japanese lacquer, urushi, And she went through how she does that. Very fascinating history of both Japanese turning and the Japanese lacquer techniques.
And the turning is really, really interesting. Tools I've never seen before that I can really use.
Right. So let me see. I think, and then this is just a snapshot. Echo's going to come to our shop this Saturday. But look how far, and this is on the lathe that Barry made. I'll turn the sound off, but that's the belt hitting the pulleys.
She uses that little sawhorse as a tool rest and moves it around.
You can see how far over the tool rest she is.
She's using a hook tool.
Yep.
And she can stop and start the lathe and go one way and the other way in amazingly quickly and fluidly. So
she has tools. Some tools are designed for forward turning, and then some tools are designed for reverse turning. Just remarkable how precise she can be, and the finish she gets. There's like virtually no sanding.
She doesn't sand, I don't think.
I don't think she does.
And she has these little flat scrapers, like a bandsaw blade sharpened to a scraper end, backed up by a strip of bamboo to make it stiff. And she sharpens it and to a burr, uses the burr, sharpens, uses. And with that, in her back and forth lathe maneuvers, she gets a finished surface. She doesn't sand it, doesn't need it.
So those are the three shots that images that I had for, I mean, I have a lot more, but.
Have you got a shot of Doug's setup and also of the guy with the little bowls in the cabinet?
Let me find it and I'll come back in a second.
Okay. Anybody else? Don't you wish you'd been there?
Yes.
Interesting she wasn't wearing a face shield or safety glasses.
She was wearing safety glasses, I think.
So I'll share quickly here.
She said she ordinarily does, but you can't talk to a demo without doing that. So that was her point on that, I believe. This fellow made this lovely little cabinet with all these different shapes of little wee pots. And it's really a study in form and using different hardwoods. And it made a beautiful display. And it was really a terrific exercise in shapes. These could be any size.
Yeah. And then I think, and here's a still shot of Doug's best in show. The funny thing about this one, I was sitting with Doug on Sunday and we were talking about the silent auction and people could bid on pieces. And I said to Doug, well, next year somebody's going to be bidding $20,000 for your work, Doug. And he just laughed and shrugged it off. And he goes, nobody's going to want anything like this. And then about 10 minutes later, they announced that he had best in show and he was speechless. And he's only been doing this for 2 months. He's been doing this for 2 months.
It's 8 nesting spheres, and they're all about a 1/16 thick, and they all close, with an overlap, and different woods, and they're really beautifully done. And then they nest beautifully.
Yeah, they do. So there's that.
That's the report. Mike Golka, you got your hand up? You want to talk to Mid Atlantic?
There we go. So I've been playing with the epoxy to salvage some bowl blanks that would have otherwise been firewood. And I think this one kind of surprised me the way the epoxy on the bottom turned out. This is the reason here where it would have otherwise been scrap that's close to the center of the tree, and as it dried it cracked and the pieces fell out. So I filled that with some branches from my apple tree and epoxy, and you can see inside there lots of through the marvels of modern epoxies, scrap wood like this can be saved.
Nice work.
And then I decided I always admired Cindy Drozda's finials and stuff. So they say copying someone is a sincerest form of flattery. So this is my attempt at replicating some of Cindy's work.
That's gorgeous.
And last but not least,
We'll go back for a second. What's the finish on that, please?
this is General Finishes sellable finish, which is it's a tung oil type finish.
How does it get to a gloss like that? Do you like buff it, or what did you do?
I do 3 to 4 coats, and between coats I use the Deal buffing system with the rouge, and give it a quick buff on the lathe, then wipe that down with alcohol just to remove any of the excess rouge that's left on the piece, and then just give it another coat.
What's the wood of the finial?
This is spalted sweet gum.
Uh-huh.
I would be afraid to buff either one of those things. I'd be afraid that the buff wheel's going to catch that thing and pull it out of my hand and smash it into the lathe blade.
Yeah.
You're much too optimistic, John.
How would I know this?
Yeah.
So I admire the technique, people who have the technique where that doesn't happen.
And then when I'm doing my epoxy, a lot of times I mix up too much. I know there's an awful glare here.
And hold it down lower.
There.
And closer to you. Okay.
There we go. There we go. It's hard to see on the camera here, but what this is a ponderosa pine cone encased in epoxy. There, you can see it there shining through now.
Yeah. Great
So
effect.
I usually have a cup ready, and this occasion I threw a pine cone in and then just filled it up. And then of course I had to put a little finial on it too. I grabbed a block of wood out of my my stash, and this is a piece left over from my segmenting work, where I put these little pointed things in. And I thought that I would on the top would have the little point that Cindy normally does, but unfortunately, where the internal met the external bit at the end, it didn't glue properly, and as I was turning this, it fell off.
There we go.
So we ended up with just a little point. And that's what I've been up to for the last little while.
Questions for Mike? Okay. Hey, thanks very much.
Very nice, Mike.
Nice work and good share. Duxbury, you have your hand up here.
Yeah, I've been turning peppermills. This is a black walnut from Pennsylvania, I think.
We got a lot of it around here.
Nice heavy stuff. Anyway, that's a regular one. I've turned a bunch of lighthouse peppermills. These have really gone over great. I don't know how many I've sold. But,
people will love those, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get a good quality mechanism?
I buy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
This came from Chef Specialties. They had a sale years ago, and I don't know how many. I'm embarrassed to say how many I bought, but I bought damn near all they had, I think. And since then, they've doubled and tripled in price, but I've got everything from 6-inch to 10-inch. And
so that's the secret. You got to be paying attention 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, you need a light up there flashing at the top of it. Just add interest.
No, I got enough. I get enough trouble. But that's okay. And a lot of people make those. This is the latest. This is an oval one. and then you can hold it in your hand.
Nice.
This is turned on 3 centers with, this is Liptus, Wengi, and Yellowheart.
Really good work.
And the top comes off. So you can see there's salt in here.
Okay.
And that removes.
So wait,
the
bring that back.
The top has hole.
We didn't quite see what removed. It's come on back on camera.
The top removed. This top went on here like that. This is the
So
top.
that whole cup removes.
This whole cup removes. This is the top of the thing.
Yeah.
And then that goes on here.
Okay.
Like that. So you've got a grinder and a salt shaker.
Way, very cool.
Yeah. That's it for me. That's on 3 centers.
So I'm assuming, Jim, that you glued together the oval and then you drilled the center part, the hollow in the middle.
You turn the oval, yeah, turn the outside. I turn the oval and then I drill it. And then I center on the drilling and do the round turning, the grooving and that sort of thing.
So that's not an oval made by cutting a segment out of a round.
No, it's turned.
Oh,
This is
okay.
probably about a 1/2 inch offset.
Gotcha.
This is all laid out on paper, so this is probably 3 inches by 2 inches.
Gotcha.
And I think a 1/2 inch offset gives you this arc. Actually, the yellow in here, I've learned when you do, especially two centers, rather than have to mark this, if you make this in 2 pieces and put a defining color in the middle, as you're turning, you turn this and you come up to that point and you know you're there. And then you rotate and turn the other side. Otherwise, you have to mark this.
Right.
So
you just see it in the color change in the wood.
this actually is an aid in your turning, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's a fun.
Jim,
Yeah.
when you're making the peppermill and you're doing the multi-axis, you drilled your holes first, I assume.
No, this is solid. This is solid.
Okay.
You do the outside, you do the oval first. This is nothing special. This is spindle turning. This is the center of the piece.
Right.
And the center for this side is a 1/2 inch over here. The center for this side is a 1/2 inch over here. So you've got solid on top and bottom. So you just mark the 2 different. And it's interesting, you get into geometry. When you lay this out, you've got 3 points. You've got a point here. This is the width of the thing. And you've got a point over here. So with 3 points on any arc, you can bisect this and draw a line straight down through from both sides. And where those cross, that's the center, that's the arc. So if you ever have an arc on anything, you can just put 3 points on it, bisect them, and then that point will draw a line through the 3 dots. So if you ever see an arc on anything, you can put that on there and measure the arc, the size of the arc, so you know how to make it. Did that make sense?
Okay.
You already know how it does. If you didn't already know, you got to see it. But we can come to that another time if you want to come and demo that. I'm going to demonstrate some things like that without that won't bewilder you at my demo next week as well.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
If you could sketch that on paper, some of us might understand it better. Just a little, not now, you don't need to do it, but just draw me a little sketch of how you mean bisecting or trisecting the arc.
It's good to know because in turning, you use that for all kinds of things. Any kind of a circle, you can you could take a piece that you'd have no idea how big around that is. You could set it on a piece of paper and draw a circle around it, put 3 dots on it anywhere, and draw that circle. It's
Yeah.
dead on.
Okay, I'm going to move along.
Go.
I see Kai here. We haven't heard from Kai in a while. I got a spotlight on you, Kai.
Yeah, hello. Last time Jim Bowman showed his chucking methods for an irregular workpiece, and I wanted to show some photos of chucking methods that might be interesting for him. So I'll share if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See. Okay. So that is a piece with 3 bowls in it that I turned a while ago, and here is the side view. I wanted to keep this natural outline here, and I didn't want to screw into it. And to put it on a table, I had to make a foot here to lift it a bit. So that's the chucking. I used double-sided tape between this workpiece and these 2 pieces of wood on the left and on the right. And then I bolted these to a big disc. And to find the center of each of the bowls, I had to build this little kind of bridge thing here, because I turned it outboard on my lathe, and there is no tailstock to mark the middle or to point to the center of the lathe axis. So and that's the piece on the lathe then, outboard, with these 2 blocks. And I also added 2 little straps for extra safety. They shouldn't be necessary, but just to be on the safe side, I put them a little bit over.
Is there hot glue in there or anything like that?
No, double-sided tape.
Okay.
You're braver than I am. I've never had luck with double-sided tape. It always wants to fly off.
You have to clamp it and have to leave it to be pressurely set.
Yeah,
Yes.
But it worked really well. You just have to make sure that your block is absolutely square and that this cut is absolutely clean, so that you get 2 nice kind of surfaces for the double-sided tape to stick. We also talked a little bit about balancing the workpiece a while ago. I did static balancing on this one, and it worked well. So I just removed the belt from the pulley of the lathe, and then I added a stack of washers here on the other side of the disc, and 2 nuts that are kind of, we say, conturn. You turn them in different directions so that they lock each other, so they are locked against each other and don't come loose through vibration or something like that. And then you can add washers until this is balanced. So that worked nicely.
Did you measure the weight of each washer? I'm still trying to find a way to know how much weight I need to add other than by trial. I guess there's no way to know how much off it is, right?
Yes, I just tried it out. So
okay.
Was just trial and error.
My washers were about, I think, 35 gram or something like that. I think I have it right.
I don't know what these are actually. So, and that's another workpiece fixed with the same chucking method, or double-sided tape again between these blocks and the workpiece. And before that, I cut the ends on the table saw. This hold down and a movable table here. So I just pushed it along and got a nice clean cut for the double-sided tape to stick. And then
the blocks are screwed to the faceplate, right?
yeah, the blocks are screwed to this black disc here, and on the back of the disc there is a faceplate. Yeah.
Kai, I'm starting to understand why it didn't fly off for you. I was thinking you were between the faceplate or whatever and the block you were putting but you're basically putting it in jaws and sticking. You have 3 jaws and you're basically squeezing it in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, the forces he's going to apply don't have a whole lot of component in the pull toward him, pull off direction.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm starting to get it. That's a great idea, Kai.
Yeah. So it's just the double-sided tape in between here. That's the joint, and no double-sided tape under here.
Okay.
Did you make the table for that saw? That's gorgeous.
No, I bought it. It was a kind of a ready-made saw.
Oh, B.
Made by a company called Hammer, and they also have a bit better quality for tradespeople. It's called Felder, and they sell in the States as well.
I've had a Felder machine. They're good machines.
Yeah,
I gotta have one of those.
they are made in Austria. Yeah,
They make a really good over-under planer joiner.
yeah. I've got a Hammer planer joiner as well, and that's nice as well. Yeah.
Often with a router spindle off the shaft and an XY table.
Yeah. That has got a router. It's kind of a combination between a table saw and a router. It has got a router here as well.
Kai, do you have a closer shot of the actual clamping mechanism on that track?
This one?
Not? Yeah, that thing.
No, I don't have one. I can take one. It's just this tube or spindle here locks into this slot, and and then this is movable up and down. So you push it down, and then this is kind of moved backwards then, and that lifts the whole assembly here a little bit, and then pushes down onto it lifts the front a little bit and then pushes down on the workpiece.
So it locks on the T-track or whatever.
It locks in this slot here, yes. On
regular bench clamp, right? Bench clamp.
Woodcraft has a clamp like that for about $30. It's a drill press hold down, and it comes with it's that exact mechanism. It's painted green in the casting. Is a casting in it. It's a very worthwhile, useful thing, and you could put it on a T-track base if you had one.
Okay, so I just go on with the turning.
Yeah.
So here it is kind of centered by the tailstock, and then I screwed it, or these blocks to the back, or finally screwed them to the back, and added some little straps as well here for extra safety, and then I could do the turning.
And did it vibrate around, or did your balancing work pretty well?
It balanced rather well at low speeds, so I didn't use speeds that high, and it was fine. So I didn't need any counterbalancing here.
Yeah.
But it's a heavy lathe as well. Okay, and then another fixing method. It's 2 discs screwed together, and the back one has got, I think, a faceplate on it that connects to the spindle stock, and I turned through the outer disc here. So that's the black surface here is the surface of the second disc. And then I took off the first disc with the hole in it and fixed my workpiece to it using these metal straps here and screws and some cardboard in between, so to protect the surface of the workpiece. And I added 4 blocks of the same height. They are screwed to the this base plate from the other side. And I added some straps as well for safety. You can see them here, or one of them here. And I put some little pieces under here just to level it a bit better, because the surface wasn't quite flat. And then I sandwiched it with the other disc. So this is the workpiece. It's fixed to this lower disc. This is the spacer. This is the upper disc, and that has got the faceplate to it. So the workpiece is fixed to the front here, not to the back plate. And here you can see the whole assembly on the lathe. So I can reach the workpiece now through this hole I turned early on, and I could turn the bowl shape here.
And then you move the workpiece under the apparatus to turn the next one, yeah?
No, this has got just one inside it.
Okay.
And the whole procedure was just to protect this surface, and there was no big surface for using the double-sided tape method. So I thought I fix it to this plate here, and then use the spacers and kind of sandwich it between the 2 discs.
Clever.
How do you get the back surface so nice and clean?
On this one, using a carving tool.
Oh, okay.
There was bark on it, but some little beetles had got under the bark, so I couldn't leave the bark on. I had to remove the bark, including the beetles, and so I got this kind of structure or surface texture.
It's nice because it's not a sanded surface; it's a texture. Nice, very nice.
Yeah. And then later on, I sanded these pieces, using them as kind of a foot. Yeah, so that's.
We have that one as a finished piece?
No, I haven't got a photo actually of the finished piece. Sorry. The finished piece is, go back. Yeah, it's just, that's the underside here, and then one kind of bowl shaped, turning
but it's,
on the other side.
Does it rock or sit on 3 points, or what?
It actually sits on this point, and I added an artificial foot here that I had to glue to the surface, and then I put it on a table and used a router on 2 guides to route this one, and my artificial foot to the same height. Yeah. So
what is that?
Wacholder. Oh, good question. Maybe I wrote it down somewhere. Juniper.
Juniper. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same wood. It's juniper as well, but after a while, this nice purple color turns into brown if you expose it to sunlight. So it doesn't stay like that.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay, that's it. I just
Any questions for Kai?
Yeah.
Why
is there
is
a question or a picture you want to see again?
Why is it that trees hide all the beautiful stuff inside? As soon as we go grab it, it changes it to brown. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I stopped that.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Doug, I see Doug showed up, and so did Mike Peace and Bert. We're not going to get to everybody, but I'm going to try. Doug, what do you want to tell us about today? You won the Best in Show. Oh, you're in your car.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm a little bit late coming in, and I wanted to show you all my piece for the one Best in Show for last week, but I'm going to do it next week.
Perfect. That's what we'd like. Yeah.
I just got finished with a medical procedure. I'm a little bit groggy, but I still wanted to check in with guys and say everything. It was a very good show last week, not just because of the Best in Show, but also for other things as well. So that's all.
John showed your pieces already in his overview, but we'll want to have a closer look at it with you.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. Okay.
Hey, congrats, Doug. Well,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. And we'll see. We'll make sure we're checked in next week early on so we can catch it up. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Doug. Mike Peace.
Okay. I had a friend of mine help me turn this tool handle adapter out of a piece of aluminum bar. You may recall sometime back, Kai did a presentation on turning these out of brass. I got 2 bars some time back off Amazon. They're inch thick, which is suitable for maybe a ½ inch and smaller bowl gouges. I had a machinist help me do a friend of mine is a wood turner and a machinist. He did this on a metal lathe, but here's the one that I actually made on my Powermatic and glued it up into a handle last night. So they're fun. It's kind of a low rent variation of buying one from, for example, Carter and Sons. I released a video, I think Friday, on using their new tool handle adapter. These are using set screws. They've got more expensive tool handle adapters out on the market that you can buy commercially that might be a little slicker with some type of collet or quick lock, but of course they're 2 or 3 times the price of something with set screws. And that's all I got.
All right.
Hey, Mike, what glue do you use when you?
I use 5-minute epoxy.
Okay. Yep.
Plenty strong.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Bert?
Yeah, so I got another collaboration here that I did with, this is an urn. So I made the urn, and then I had a quilter friend of mine made the quilt, and I needed to put a plug in the urn, so I made a pin cushion for the plug, and the quilter actually made this little mini quilt that fits over the pin cushion, and that's the closure. So there again, I make themed urns. So this one here is for a stitching group, and I've had a couple of ladies ask for them. So I thought, well, if they're asking for them, I'll make some. And it's all been well received. This one doesn't have a home yet, but there's people looking at it. And then another one I just recently did was I made another. Guess what that is? That's a curling rock urn. And I used a stone finish paint. First time I ever used a textured paint. And I think it came out pretty neat.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, that's all I got.
Well, remind us how you know how big to make those things.
How big to make them is an inch per 1 cubic inch per pound is a rough estimate. So these are about they're better than 200 cubic inches inside each. So a little better than 3 liters if you're in metric. And that came from suggestions from a friend of mine works in a funeral home, and he said, yeah, any of the urns that I've made and sent there, they've always been bigger than 200 inches, and he said they've never ever come close to filling them because it's all done on bone structure and stuff. And he says very seldom will it ever need anything bigger than 200 cubic inches. So that's what I use.
So think about it. If somebody weighed 150 pounds at one time, and now they weigh 250, you can base it on the 150 pounds because the rest of it's all fat, right?
Yeah, and that's what they said. They said it's all based on bone structure. So Eastern Europeans tend to have more volume in their bone structure than North Americans for whatever reason. And that's, they just pointed out, it's not based on how much they actually weigh, because somebody that's really overweight is mostly fat and water. We're what, 85% water, and the rest of it's bone. So yeah. But that leads to the next discussion I had on making these. I use bird mouth joinery. So I don't know if anybody's done any stave construction.
I mean, wait a minute. I'm going to put the spotlight back on you so we can see what it is you're talking about. Now, what are you talking about here? Hold
Well,
up so we can see it. Hold one of them up, please.
So this is a finished product. It's a curling rock, but it's actually made out of staves that are bird mouth joinery.
Okay, now hold that still so we can see what you mean.
Okay, so there you can see where the
You can see
felt
the
pen
glue
marks
line.
are, the little 90-degree joints.
Yeah.
That's where the glue surfaces are. So they're not just flat staves on an angle. They're actually a bird mouth that's cut with a router bit. So you don't have to worry about the angle being so perfect. Everything is just square. And then you can do the calculations on the inside diameter and make it however big or small you want, and then however tall. So this one's about an inch high, and I calculate how much cubic inches are per inch, and then if I need a taller urn, I just add inches to it on the staves, and then I glue them all together like this. So you end up with a very, very, very secure cylinder.
Well, we're just being a little bit misled by the bumps on the outside, and I know what's going on there, but I don't think everybody does. You're using flooring scrap, aren't you?
Oh, this is flooring scrap, yeah. So the bumps on here this is 3/4 inch flooring scrap. It could be 3/4 inch wood, and the key on here, I guess, what I was trying to show is when you set up the bit to do the bird mouth joint, you set it up for where do you want the smooth part, on the inside or the outside. And here I want it really smooth on the inside, so I don't have to hollow it. So it's got a finish already, and this is a very, very small facet. So I don't have to do anything when I have a hollow form that's this long, like some of the spindles that I make on here. Some of them are 8 or 10 inches long, and that just changes the volume of the urn.
That's how they do ship masts. They can do 15 feet long.
Yes, yeah, they can do, and they get a lot of strength because you have all of the different. The glue joint is almost double than a straight across. If you went straight across, you have to be really accurate on your angles in order to get the circle. But if you use bird mouth joinery, you start with a parallel sided piece of square stock, run it through your router to get the bird mouth. And when you put it, this is exactly a 90-degree, so the pieces fit perfectly, and you got double the glue surface. So you got really, really strong, whatever length you want to make it, you can do it. You can even taper them too.
Bert, so if you're making a tall one, you just make a tall stave, or do you make more
That's
rings?
Right. I make the tall, like these are all my practice pieces to make sure I can make sure I know how big they are. And then if I needed to duplicate this one, I can just measure the length of the stave that's on here and then cut them to length. So whatever length I need, I just cut them to length first and then run them through the router. But I always make one test ring first so I don't have to go through the math the second time around. I've got these hanging in my shop. So I've got big ones, little ones, and various types of wood. And I tried different positions of the router bit to get different facets. Some of these are pretty crude. These are some of my first ones. I didn't spend much time, and I had to hollow them inside with a hollowing tool to get them smooth, to get more volume. And then I realized if I spent a little more time making the bird's mouth inside really, really small, well, then I don't have to turn the inside. It's because it's inside. It's smooth, and yeah, it's just less work. But anyway, that's bird mouth joinery for making hollow forms. It's basically vertical segmenting. That's all I got.
All right, that's terrific. last question or two for Bert, or are we done? Are we done here?
I have a question for Bert. So you adjust the diameter by changing the length of each piece that you're gluing up? Is that how you do that?
That's right. And there's you can buy the bits. It'll do 612 is one bit, depending on how you position it. Then there's another bit for 8 side and another bit for 16 side. So based on the material you got, you can change the size of the barrel by the length of the stave, or if you'd only got narrow material, you just add more sections. So if you have 12 sections and you need a bigger one, well, you just cut it with a 16 bit and you'd end up with 16 pieces, which increases your diameter. So I've got all 3 bits, so I can do 6, 8, 12, or 16 segments. And that'll give me a lot of variability on the size that I can do, plus the length of the width of the stave will actually help you as well.
That's a great topic. Thank you very much, Bert.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been a great coffee hour. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks, John.
Take care.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Wood shop. Thank God for wood.